I'll just recap the end because it's a nice reminder regardless. So House was doing tons of experiments. He found nothing that affected the virus except for neutron radiation. An infected came down to the fourth deck, at which point House opened the door a little bit, made a noise, and then the infected came and tried to open the door. So then Vulcan neck pinched it, did nothing. He was hitting it, did nothing. So you guys were able to forcefully put him onto the medical bed that goes into the chamber and restrain him. The infected went into the chamber, was irradiated with neutron, and the scanner showed the virus dying. Then pulled out the body. The body was very red because obviously getting blasted with 100 rems of neutron radiation is not good for you. And that's where we ended. So you said you have four momentum right now?
I think so.
That's where we'll start is you have this crewman on the bed. He's unconscious. Would you like to begin perhaps healing his radiation burns before things get bad?
Yeah, I could totally roll for that. Is that what you want, Mike? Do you want me to heal him first, or
Obviously, make sure that he's secure, but
Right.
yeah,
okay?
let's see if we can heal him.
You guys like did the bed straps,
Okay.
Yep. So if he can't get out, then we're fine.
Medical insight. So it's a 16.
You want me? Okay.
Difficulty
So
difficulty 2.
difficulty two. Do you want me to spend a momentum, Mike, and have another dice?
Sure.
Okay. I know he has diagnostic medicine as a focus.
Yes, it does.
Does that apply here?
Yeah.
Okay. Two successes.
It's going to take time though,
Yeah.
his whole body. So we'll say it's a half an hour.
Why are you smirking when you say that?
Yeah. I'm not talking about. So it's not 150.
You're
He's fully
pleased.
healed. He's unconscious, but he's fully healed. If you want, you can attempt to wake him up if you want.
Would House know from just kind of like looking at him or some sort of medical scan that like if he introduces like pain medication, just in case he's like hurt from the radiation or something, to like basically make him more compliant? Like, can I do that without a roll or do I have to roll for that?
Because you're just doing a hypospray, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
basically trying to like
Yeah,
just
he's
keep him
restrained.
calm.
If he's restrained, if you want to just give him a pain, you
Like a
can.
yeah, just like a pain reliever. Okay. 'Cause I don't have to roll for that, right?
No,
Okay.
because he's not moving, so it's not like it's a difficult.
I'm just making sure. Yeah, just okay. So
um, you want to read his name tag.
yes.
Okay. So it's Thalo. And I'll give you a hint.
He's a sick
It's the
he's
crewman that went on the away mission.
He's mid follow security officer.
Yep.
Okay.
Is he awake, or
He-
is he just out of pain?
He's currently sleeping. You can try to shake him and wake him up or some other method if you would like.
Let's start with the shake because the less medicine we give him, honestly, the better.
Okay. So you've been shaking him. I mean, not like like
Oh yeah.
his arm or and he begins to wake up. He's a little groggy. He's kind of looking around, trying to figure out what's going on. He's like mumbling, kind of like,
Yep. And I would put my hand up and put my hand in front, like kind of wave it. Can you see me?
Yeah, who are you? What do you want?
I'm Commander Ashraf Farhad of the USS Drake, and we came here from a distress signal. The ship is badly damaged. What can you tell me that you remember?
He's like straining to like think. He says, where am I?
You're in med bay.
Why does my head hurt so much?
That's a very long story. I just need to know what you remember.
I remember my duty shift. I remember being in the mess hall and people moving in. Why? What's going on?
The ship has basically been overtaken by a virus. All the crew are infected, and so far you are the first one to be cured.
Do you know how I got on the ship?
Not completely sure. but it seems to have been brought in by an infected crew member.
You know which one?
It apparently was brought on by Ensign Drett. We
I
don't
don't,
have a lot of information, but he seems to be the first one to be infected by it.
I don't know what you mean. I mean, are you talking about when we went down, or did something happen afterwards?
We're not sure, but we think when you went down to the planet, he became infected by a virus that was on the planet, and it spread throughout the whole crew.
That doesn't seem right because the only thing he got was he fell into a bush and he got really itchy. So we brought him back and the doctor healed him. I don't that doesn't make any sense. I did notice that Dret and Blex were acting weird when we are coming back. I asked them what was going on and they were acting very suspicious. So I made sure that Blex's bag was separated so the doctor could check it.
Do you know where that bag is?
My best guess, because we grabbed our bags and brought them back to our rooms to unload them. So I mean, it might not be a bad idea to check their quarters. They're on deck too.
Yeah, I would love to, but we have a lot of other infected crew in that area.
I mean, is the lights on?
There's very little power, and we're able to shift power where we need it, but like I said, the ship is heavily damaged.
Because we do have a couple imaging goggles in the storage that would allow you to see in the dark.
Those would come in handy.
They're down on the bottom deck in the cargo bay. The captain got them and he didn't see a use for them, so he left them in the box. He put them all the way over to the right.
Okay.
As a security officer, were were you made apprised of, and then whatever that officer's name was that they found wandering, that complained of being homesick?
So what happened was I came back from the trip. We got released from quarantine. I did some paperwork, and then I went to the mess hall to eat. I did
Hmm?
hear of a couple of crewmen saying that they were feeling homesick, but I didn't really think much of it. And
Had
then
those,
when I was in the mess hall, that's when other security officers started pushing people in.
had you noticed anyone complaining of being homesick prior to going on the planet?
No,
Were your other two officers that were on your away team, did they complain of being homesick at any point?
no. In fact, they were in the mess hall with me when all this stuff was going down.
All right, yeah, let's move him to the decon chamber. I'll give him some sort of standard Bolian drink that he
Yeah.
finds delicious, and we'll move him to the decon chamber.
So are you unstrapping him and like picking him up for walks? Are you carrying him or how are you?
If he can walk, I would like just shoulder him. I wouldn't let
Okay.
go of him.
So
Yeah.
it would take two of you to shoulder him because he's very weak.
Okay.
So the question is, do you want to roll for the carrying him or do you want to spend just spend time?
Look at this. This is terrible. This is the worst. Why does the time matter? Why?
If you want, you can spend a momentum to get an idea of for
Can
something
I
to check.
can I spend a momentum and you tell me why you're counting down time?
Certain things happen at certain intervals, and
Oh,
he
I'm
doesn't want
sure.
to give it away.
No, okay.
What would it be?
Would it be fitness security because you're manhandling?
Sounds fine to me.
If one person wants to manhandle him, it's a difficulty two. If two people want to manhandle him, it's a difficulty one, but they both have to succeed.
I'd hand the pulse rifle off to House. So I'll manhandle, and I'm good,
Cut
but
to.
I got two.
Okay.
I just want to
So
cut to the straps come off of the guy. It just cuts to an exterior shot of the med bay, and the doors slide open, and he's got him underneath his arms underneath his armpit, and he's just dragging him like in reverse style down the hallway. But go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead.
so Arhat basically just carries him down, plops him into the quarantine. Are you giving him anything?
I would give him, if we have some rations nearby of like a simple food and water
Okay.
Because who knows how long it's been since he's had anything.
I would.
Yep.
House would give him like a bedpan type thing, if
Okay.
he's got to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom.
You give him these things. He thanks you, and he's kind of slumped. He's on that bench in the quarantine, in front of
Yeah.
the screen. He's just kind of slumped on it. He's like, "Thank you." And he's like drinking and eating as he's just he doesn't have the strength to sit up straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least he's sitting and able to recoup his strength.
Yes.
Can we close it and then can House put in like a Starfleet code that like we would know as the crew, but like the Bolian crew wouldn't know?
Yeah, because the med bay is powered. So since the quarantine is close enough, that would also be powered.
Okay.
So if you want to do that,
Yeah.
we're not going to have to roll because it's literally
Okay. Yeah.
typing in a number.
Yeah. So House puts in like a Drake friendly code that the Bolian crew wouldn't know.
Yes.
So we'll head down. I'm only going to open one of them. The others are going to stay sealed.
All right. So that's what. So it's going to take you 10 minutes to get down, and it's on the right side. So it's going to be security, insight, difficulty 2, or if you want, you can just spend a momentum to get guaranteed finding it.
No, I'd like to pat Arhat on the back and assist him while
Okay.
he looks for back boxes.
You could roll and assist, same thing, security, insight.
I have one success.
I have a focus in cargo operations.
Beautiful.
Nice. So what did you get?
Oh no,
A
Mike.
4 and a 1.
Wow.
Yeah. And your security's a 5, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 successes.
So you're gonna be full, and in fact, we're gonna play this game. Because what I was gonna do was I was gonna say there's one in the box, and then for every one momentum you spend, you can add an additional goggle set. So if you can spend because you're at.
I spent 2 momentum to have
Okay.
2 extra.
So you can have 3 goggles in there if you want.
Yeah.
And we'll say because you guys did so well that it took you no time. You immediately walked in and Arhat was like, "There it is, right there."
He just walks in, he turns, and it's open, and he's like, "Here it is."
All right, so you got 3 goggles. I'm guessing
Did we have any momentum left? Because we were at 3. That
So-
bumped it up to 8.
So I capped it. So we had
Minus
5.
2.
Right. So with our 5, it capped us and left us 2 bonus momentum. And you found one in the box, and so I spent the 2 bonus momentum, still leaving us at 6 to give us 2 extra lights. So House will have one, and then we'd have another one just to have it.
Okay.
All right. So
I just want to make sure our numbers were right.
Here is the thing, Andrew.
yes.
Have we scanned the air for that thing that's inside that guy's body? Or
You
was in that guy's
you
body?
did scan the air earlier and you found that there was nothing in the air. The scanner revealed nothing in the air besides normal air.
But have we scanned since?
No, you have not scanned since. You scanned when you first went to the deck 1.
Okay. Do you think, Mike, it's worth scanning the air if it has viruses in the air? Because we're going to have to take off our helmets to put these goggles on.
The first thing I want to do is I want to take a quick look around here. See, is there anything in the vicinity that stands out as it would help us besides the goggles?
From your brief look, it's mostly food and survey equipment and there's not a ton of super useful things that you can see there. If you want, you can spend momentum to find something specific.
No, I figured we found the goggles. If there was something laying out around that might be helpful, I would probably see it as just a quick look.
Yes. Nope. You don't see anything that's overly useful.
Just wanted to make sure.
Okay. So what would you like to do now? Do you want to go back to sick bay? Do you want to scan the air?
It's either that or we can go to the shuttle.
Mm-hmm. Basically vent the air and then
Yeah.
so you can head back up to 4?
There's not a whole lot keeping us here,
Okay.
and 4 is more secure.
Yep. All right. So it takes you 10 minutes to get back to deck 4. All right. Are you going to head to the shuttle or?
Now, since we're back here, it wouldn't be a bad thing for House to work on programming the scanner,
Okay.
and I would run to the shuttle to get all that set up so that we're not wasting time.
Do I have to roll to put that in the hand scanner?
So you still can't figure out why the scanner won't pick up the virus, but you have the option of it's a difficulty 3.
Of course it is.
When you're doing the test, you notice that, remember, you would scan the virus and it'd start turning colors and changing.
Yeah.
So that the virus was absorbing the energy from the scanner.
Yeah.
So you could do like a sonar thing of when you're scanning, you could tell when the energy from the scanner is being absorbed.
Mm-hmm.
That would give you an idea that the virus, that's most likely the virus, because this is the only thing that you've ever encountered that did that.
So do we want to go to the shuttle first and just do it? Or do you want me to go to the shuttle and you work on the scanner? Or
I was thinking maybe 2 birds, 1 stone. We can go to the shuttle, and while it's cycling, I can be doing that on the hand scanner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be 14 difficulty 3.
Do you want me to have a lot of dice, Mike, or just?
you can take another dice if you want. We have 6 momentum.
Okay. So you roll for the ship there, Mike, and I'll roll.
Okay.
Are
Nope.
you letting a house focus apply, Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I
it's
have
diagnosed with medicine.
so I have 3 successes.
All right. So you now have a way. So it's only good for up to 15 feet, which is, I mean, that's pretty decent.
It's not terrible.
Yeah. But that's as far as you can reliably tell if there's a virus present. And again, it's not a guarantee because you're not detecting the virus. You're detecting that the scanner is being absorbed by something.
So while that was happening, we would have the cycling of.
Right.
Yes. And so we'll say it's just like we'll say it's a 5-minute process because
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, just 5 minutes.
Yep.
that's it, just 5 minutes. So it sucks up the air, refills the air. So now you're standing in what you believe is, you know,
Let's put one of the thing in here on the shuttle.
okay.
Leave it with the shuttle in case Milek or the guys in engineering want it, so that we can. That way, if it's on our body, we don't drop it, we don't get it broken, we don't blah blah blah.
Yep.
Right. Plus, with the shuttle would be able to park, grab it, and leave. Even though it is dangerous, it is still a possibility.
Yes. So we'll leave that one here, and then then him and I have him on our face, and
Who is going? Because I'm going to warn you, if you're going to sneak, it's a control con.
My con isn't good. My control is
well, Milek has a 16. What does Arhat have?
13.
So I think you're the better choice just because you have security options. So I think Milek and Arhat will get off of the shuttle.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Milek will put the goggles on, and House will not have the goggles on. He will keep them
We're in the shuttle with Matt.
in the shuttle.
You guys shut the door after you leave?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are now back on the ship, the two of you, with your goggles.
Also, Milek took the door lock.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm thinking about grabbing an extra communicator if possible from the shuttle. We're going to go to deck 2, and I'm going to let the people at the shuttle know to have a sound ready that could attract them.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that will take you 8 minutes to get up there.
Okay.
So you open the door and you see what you'd had before, the corner, and then you see the piece of metal that collapsed from the roof.
Yep.
And then you hear shuffling on the other side of the collapsed ceiling.
But we don't see anybody yet.
You don't see anybody yet. Because you come out and it's like you can see to the wall of the corner, but you
Yeah.
can't see around the corner because of the piece of. So you see nothing in this little hallway section.
I would press myself up against the wall and just see if I can see better around the corner.
Yeah. So you look underneath the wall part, and you see two people shuffling, and you see down the hall towards the end there's a couple of infected just kind of standing around
So
you.
I would tell Milak to just keep an eye behind us, make sure that they don't sneak up behind us.
Mhm.
And I would slowly start moving along the wall, seeing if they would react to our sneaking.
Okay. So, I mean, are you going to like commit to action, or are you just like looking, like standing at the corner, looking down the hall?
I'm going to slowly walk up until I can get a good look at them. And every step I take, I would be gauging to see if they hear me.
Okay. So you take a couple of
I would also be
steps.
using constantly watching.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there.
So what we'll do is we'll commit to control difficulty 1.
I have an 8 and a 3. So I have 2 successes.
Very nice. So you got 1 momentum. So you sneak up to the ceiling collapse.
Yep.
You're crouching, looking underneath it. They don't react at all.
Okay, so they haven't noticed me at all whatsoever.
No. One of them is walking towards you. The other one turned around right when he got to the ceiling collapse and started walking back. They don't. They're just. They're
They're
just
oblivious.
shuffling. They're shuffling like mindless drones. They're not. You see nothing happening with them.
Okay, so they don't notice me. I would wave Milek over to see if they react to him sneaking over to me.
Okay, so now
Although,
Mila will have to do a difficulty 1 control.
Does the focus of survival come into play?
Yeah.
So I have 2 successes.
Very nice. Would you like to check any of the doors to see what the doors are?
Yes.
yeah, I would like to see the 2 quarters that we're looking for.
So
Are there any quarters in the area that we're in before we cross over?
no, the ceiling collapsed just before the first door of the crew quarters. Let me get my list. So you begin looking. The second door on the right, you see that is Dret's room. That's the con officer that you're told to look for. And unfortunately, Blex, the science officer that you're told to look for, is 6 doors further on the left side.
Okay. Is the door open to the
Yes,
second one on the right?
all of the doors are open. They opened the infected crew opened every single door on this deck.
We have the choice of crawling, or
Yep.
we have the choice of carefully walking over the giant chunk.
It's con control. You can crawl for a difficulty 0, which will take you time, or you can walk over with a difficulty of 1.
And with them kind of wandering around, I'd rather walk on top of it as opposed to crawl underneath.
100%. Plus, he wants us to waste time, so. All right, let's walk.
All right, difficulty 1, con control. Yeah, 2 successes.
1 success.
Okay, so because you're at max, right?
Yeah.
I will allow you to use the extra momentum to sneak into the second door.
Beautiful.
Because it's like right there. So you get to the other side and you're standing in front of the first door, and the second door is, 2 feet further.
Yeah.
All right. So you sneak in. You're now in Dret's quarters, the con officer.
Yeah.
So you see the foot locker, you see his clothing kind of strewn on the floor. The bed's overturned. You do see in the corner, laying on its front, you see a backpack. Would you like to look at the outside of the backpack?
Yes.
Okay. So you see, because you know how they all have those tags that you can rip off?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the tag says Blex on it.
This is Blex's bag.
That's what the tag says.
All right. Milak gives Arhat the like stay back, and he just opens the bag.
Okay. You see a data pad on it.
Perfect. Can I see anything else in there?
No.
I take out the data pad.
All right. You're gonna have it's in Bolian, so you're gonna have to use your scanner to read it.
Okay.
The problem
So
is the moment we use the scanner, wouldn't that alert?
no, because it's just translating the
Okay.
text.
He's like, yeah, just connect it. It'll be fine.
Would they see the light if we turn this thing on right?
It's very faint. It's because all the data pads are in basically dark mode, where it's the black background with the text.
Milak will take a blanket and he'll do like the little kid thing where he's like, I'm not really awake right now, and he'll
Okay.
put the blanket over his.
Yeah, that's fine. So Milak is the only one reading this. So this is the exact message that your scanner gives you.
Oh, you give it to me on chat. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So Milak, he kind of like pulls up the blanket a little bit and he does like a this thing to you, Arhat, because he's not
Okay.
going to talk loud.
Yeah.
And then when you
I
come over, he just shows you the pad.
Do you want me to just read it, or?
Yeah, you can just read it. Yeah.
So the exact message on the pad says, "Look, I know you wanted a gift for your girlfriend, but next time don't involve me in your souvenirs." And souvenirs is in quotes.
So this isn't potentially Blex's bag.
This is that's what I'm saying. It's in Dret's quarters.
Right.
It's Blex's bag, and this is a message from Dret to Blex.
So it sounds like Blex was trying to acquire something that could have gotten everybody in trouble.
Is there anything else on the pad?
No.
So we have to go to Blex's room.
Yep. And that's, what did I say? 6 down on the other side?
Six down, 6 more down, yeah.
Yep, on the other side of the hallway.
Are they
Okay.
still pacing?
Yes. They're
shop-
far enough because they're walking in basically into the mess hall, then walking all the way to the destroyed section. So I mean,
Yeah.
you have a wide gap. if
Oh,
you talk-
okay.
Yeah, I'd wait until they're at the farthest points possible where they're going to start turning around before we start moving.
Mhm.
Give us the most amount of time.
We'll say it's still difficulty 1 because if you're timing this, so con control difficulty 1.
Survival still comes into play.
Yep,
I have 3 successes.
very nice.
I got 1.
All right. So if you want, you can use 1 success to make no time pass,
Yes.
and then you can use one of the other ones if you want to do something.
I want those guys that are shuffling around the hallway to forget to come back out in the hallway and circle in the mess hall an extra time. So that we have, because they're going to pass this door, right? Like they're going to pass our door. Yeah. So just to like basically delay them for a bit.
We'll say that something from the roof in the mess hall fell. You hear crumbling and you hear something hit the floor, and they ran over there to check it out.
So noise is definitely making them unhappy.
Yeah.
So you're now in Blex's room. You see again, a lot of the normal things, his clothing, you see books, data pads, you see his bed, is like shoved into the corner violently. But you do notice that his footlocker, that tipped over and it's spilled out, and you see little pieces of stone, you see pieces of metal, you don't know what it is, but it looks like a camera. And you see little black with white borders that are in with the camera.
No. Okay.
So it's pitch black, but this is what you see with this camera looking thing.
Oh, like
You see it?
like Polaroids is what you're saying?
Yes, because obviously at this point you guys wouldn't know what those things are.
Right.
But that's
Okay.
what you see.
Mie pokes one of the little square things, the Polaroids, we'll
So
just
the
say.
Polaroids, he pushes them and it just kind of slides a little bit.
He picks it up and he looks at both sides of it.
Good. So on the front, you see a male and a female Bolian
Okay.
standing in front of, and it says in English, it says world's biggest flea market.
Okay.
And then you flip it over and you see a heart shape, and inside the heart it says Deleth. Yeah, it's Blex's first name. Deleth,
Okay.
the what? And Fazet, F''ZAT. It's written in red, the two names, and there's a red heart.
So do we know if Orlo, whatever, Fazat, do we know if that person's crew room is on the stretch?
The senior officers were on the top floor.
Right.
So far, you've seen ensign and lieutenant names on this floor, but you have not seen any crewmen names.
So crewmen's are on 3.
Yeah.
Can I pick up one of these stones or little metal things and look at them?
Yeah.
Does me get the feeling when he picks them up, does he get the feeling that these are just keepsake little things that people would take for memory holders?
So as you pick them up, you either see engravings on them,
Oh,
or you see that they're geodes or
Collectibles. When the piece fell in the mess hall and we rushed in here,
mhm.
obviously the 4 of them went. Did I notice any more show up?
So you saw 4 running, and then you saw movement at the end in the mess hall itself. So you know that there were some in the mess hall.
I figured there were more around. I was just wondering if I had noticed any of them.
Yes.
do you think, Mike, we should spend a momentum for a brain itch or something to make sure we don't need to look at another room before going down to 3 to look at rooms?
Yeah, we can.
Will you allow that, Andrew?
Yeah. So everything seems to be pointing to going to the girlfriend's room and either talking to Thalo or looking in his quarters.
That's how I feel too. I just didn't want to walk away from this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think let's just go to 3.
Okay. So it's going to, because they're in the mess hall, if you go right now, you can do the whole hallway to the damage control difficulty 1. Then you have to either crawl under or do control difficulty 1 again. And then it's up to you if you want to sneak to the hatch.
If we do 2 successes in one roll,
Yeah.
in the first roll, will you give us both of them?
Yes. If you want to spend any extra momentum, you can get yourself to past the next obstacle.
Well, I have just rolled 3 successes. So
Okay. So if you want, you can get to the hatch for if you spend it all. Or you can give
I'm going to wait to see what happens with Mike here, because if he trips or something.
I got 1 success
so
on the first roll.
If you want to give Michael one of you guys can make it to
the hatch.
The damage. Not to the hatch, because remember, you have to sneak around the corner.
Right.
So,
or if you don't care about making noise, you can just walk.
Oh, no. I care a lot about making noise.
Okay.
So to the debris, through the debris. Now
you're standing on the other side of the debris.
Got it.
Do you want to sneak to the hatch?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So go ahead. Control difficulty 1.
1 success. No, 1 success. No.
I rolled a 1 and a 7.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So if you want, you can not put any in bank, and I'll have you guys go right into the Jeffries tube. Both of you.
Will you make it smooth to 3?
What do you mean smooth to 3?
1 to get to the Jeffries thing, and then another 1 to get quietly down to 3.
You would still take a couple of minutes to go down there.
We would still take a couple of minutes, but my thinking is we don't run into anybody in the Jeffries tube down to 3.
Right,
exactly. Don't bank any, spend it all, and you can be on 3. In fact, you did so well, we'll say that it only takes you 3 minutes to get there.
Yeah, of course.
So you're now at the hatch for 3.
We're going to carefully open and check for people.
Yep. So this one is a larger deck. So it's a split. So you're at 1, it's basically a circle,
Perfect.
So you see a lot of damage going one direction, and you see a lot of quarters in the other direction.
Do we see people yet?
You hear shuffling. Because you're not out into the hallway, you can't see anything, but you know down with the quarters there is shuffling.
Are there any large rooms on this level besides quarters?
Science labs. You don't know the state of the science labs, but obviously those would be larger rooms.
The question is do we want them locked in a science lab?
The other question is, because remember, there's a lot of damage in the hallway that goes to the science lab, so you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the state of it.
I think we should try sneaking to the one quarters we were thinking about.
Okay. Well, say you can lean over, right? And again, you see people at the other end of the hallway just standing there. You see a couple doing the same thing, shuffling, back and forth.
Yep.
But looking at the visor, you see that Thalo's room is the third one in, and you see hers. It's on the same side, but it is 7 rooms down further past Thalo.
Let's just go to his room, hold up there, and then we can try to journey to hers from there.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a difficulty 1.
Okay.
I got 2.
Very nice.
I have 1.
All right, so you can make the extra one so you have max.
Okay.
So you get into his quarters. His quarters seem like the cleanest. Like, he doesn't have a lot of stuff, Like, you can tell there's stuff in here, but it's clearly they're all away. There's like the closet's away. Next to the bed is shoved over, but you see, like, on the edge of the bed, there is a data pad.
I guess I'm looking at data pads.
Okay. So are you doing the same trick with the?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. So you read it, and this is a very, very, this could be a Vulcan writing this. This is a very detailed description of what happened on their mission. This is clearly, he was writing the report of the mission, and then whatever happened, he went to the mess hall, You don't know what happened after he finished writing it, but is a completed mission report for what happened on the planet.
Okay.
Would you like basically the highlights?
I want all the good stuff.
Okay. So it's the normal, 8 o'clock, they had the briefing, went to the planet. The planet is very interesting because it is an M class, but the thing is, 98% of the landmass is 2 continents with a land bridge between the 2 of them.
I remember that, yeah.
So they decided to go to the eastern continent by the land bridge.
Okay.
They landed where it's basically a landing pad.
Yep.
They landed. They went into the city. They were looking at different buildings. They were marking how the buildings are constructed so they could still be used if they decided to make a colony here. There is a lot of overgrowth, though. All the plant life has been decades of the plant life growing without anyone pruning so it's been taking over the buildings and the courtyards and everything. They got through the city and they saw like a big complex of like rectangular buildings that are all connected.
Like shipyards?
Yeah. It's clearly where they store like lots of things and then stick it on to ships or whatever to send somewhere else. They decided to split up. Halo was looking at animal tracks because the animals clearly have moved in since the inhabitants disappeared. And so he was looking at, there was, all different sizes. There were some primates that were pretty big. There were interesting like puncture in the ground, in the dirt. He was trying to figure out what they were when he heard Dret scream out. So he ran over to Dret, who was in a bush. Like he's trying to get out of the bush. And he started remarking that it's not funny. That's not funny. Why did you push me? And he said, I didn't push you. And then he helped him out. And that's when he noticed that there was a lot of starting of swelling, but a lot of
scratches
on his hands and his face that were touching the plant. So he called out to Blex and he's like, we need to get back. Blex didn't come. So he used the communicator And Black said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on my way. I'm just checking some things out." A couple minutes later, Black shows up. They head to the shuttle. Thalo makes a comment that it's like they were acting strange as we were heading for the shuttle. So once they got back to the ship, he separated Blex's book bags so that way the doctor can examine it and make sure that he didn't bring back any souvenirs according to the first officer's orders. And then Drat was treated by the doctor, and then that's where the datapad ends.
So do you want to spend a momentum, Mike, and keep the hallways clear for a second, or do you want to roll and just hope we can get to the girlfriend's room?
Because it would be a difficulty too. So
That's yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so how much momentum we have to spend, Andrew, to make the hallway clear to our journey?
to get that far, we'll say two.
Okay.
Do you want to throw something, or do you want something to happen down the hallway?
I don't think I want to throw anything because I don't really have anything to throw. So I think just more random noise down the
Okay.
hallway.
Or
So
it easily could have been that with their shuffling, they just happened to all shuffle in a direction and
yeah,
open
so
up the space for us to just walk over.
yeah, so we'll do that too. Because they've been crisscrossing, so we'll say that they shuffled enough to now be in sequence, and now they're walking down the hall.
Okay.
They're down the hall, so we'll say it's a difficulty one to just.
Perfect. Let's do it.
To sneak.
I have one
Got
success.
one.
Yeah, one success.
You both got one. So, all right. So you're at the girlfriend's room.
And I'm kind of glad that we did that because we would have been.
Oh, yeah, it would have been really bad.
So you go in, and it's very similar. Things knocked over, the bed's messed up, moved.
Yeah.
But you notice there's a collection of dolls in the corner.
No. No. Mm-mm. Milek's not going towards the dolls. That's an Arhat thing. He's checking out the dolls.
So I walk over and I start on one side and just scan, see if there's anything that stands out.
You're just looking.
I'm initially looking just to see if anything stands out.
So you notice that there are different kinds of dolls. There's like nothing, but you notice there is a broken porcelain doll.
No.
There is like a plastic baby doll.
No.
There is two, what are those called? Those where you keep taking them apart.
They're called Russian nesting dolls,
Yeah.
but
So you notice they've come apart, but there's that, and then there's a gold colored doll.
First thing I do is I lean it forward and I check to see if there's anything inside the porcelain doll because they are hollow.
Yes, it's just the normal porcelain doll.
My thinking is the gold doll standing out to me.
So what would you like to do with the gold doll?
I would carefully take it in one hand and I gently lift it up in order so that it doesn't shift or move because, mama, or the eyes click or,
So you lift up this doll and you notice it is heavy. Like it is surprisingly heavy when you lift it up. Because when you're holding the stomach, it's squishy.
Oh,
But it's like there's still heft to this doll.
So I would carefully turn it around so I can look at the back because normally any openings are in the back.
So you don't notice any openings, but you notice it on the back, stitched into the back of the doll, is like a gold helmet insignia. Would you like to take a closer look at it?
I kind of do, but part of me wants to just grab it and take it back to the ship so we can study it.
You can do that too if you want. It's up to you what you want to do.
Have they started venturing back in our direction?
Not yet, but they will shortly. So it's a now or never thing.
all right. So we're taking Squishy Gold Baby. And
Something doesn't seem right about Squishy Gold Baby. I would take a quick look around. Does anything else in here stand out?
No.
Okay, I take a close look at the front.
Okay. When you shine the light and you look closely, you notice dried liquid under its nose and under its mouth.
no, absolutely not.
I am going to take my communicator
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to walk over to the door and I'm going to slide it into the next room. Yeah, I'm just going to set it and slide it in gently.
Yep.
Set it and forget it.
That
You
way,
can
if
set it-
we need a distraction, we have it.
Okay. So are you going to head back to the hatch?
I'm thinking we get out of here because I'm not seeing anything else that really stands out, and I'm taking the gold baby with me.
All right. It's a con control difficulty 1.
All right.
Oh, that was close. I rolled a 19
Okay.
and a 1.
All right. So you got
2 successes.
You both have 2?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to use the extra momentum, we'll say that you successfully make it because you're going down to deck 4, right?
Yeah, we'd probably head back to deck 4.
All right. So we'll say no problems. You're back on deck 4, and we'll say that took you 4 minutes. So now it's 2:30 exactly.
Can we communicate to the Drake to scan the asteroid field for Bolian bodies?
So if you go to the shuttle, you could, but there's so much interference trying to go through the dampening field.
I would like to do that because I think we're going to look at this baby thing on the shuttle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to go back to the shuttle and try to. Okay.
It's a good place to hold up, and
Yeah.
Okay. So you make it back to the shuttle.
Oh, and I would secure the thing again so we don't have people invading this level.
That's fine. So you secure it. We'll just say it's free because you're re-securing it the same way you did before.
Yeah.
So you make it back to the shuttle, and it's engineering control. And if somebody wants to roll a 4 for the shuttle,
15.
Nope. 14.
1 success.
all right. So you get your 1 extra momentum to bank. You contact the ship. We'll say Ensign Cho picks up.
Yep.
And says, "This is the Drake."
Can you scan the asteroid field for Bolian DNA, essentially? Like,
Yeah, it would be a difficulty 2. I mean, she says that it would because if you're not looking for life signs, if you're looking just for the DNA,
right.
I would have to it would take me a little bit extra scanner.
That's fine. I mean, both. I mean, if somehow there is a Bolian life sign out there, great. But yeah,
Okay. Do you want to roll, or do you want me to roll? Because it's a
I'll roll
14.
for the ship. I'll roll for the ship.
Okay, I'll roll for
Yeah.
her. It's a difficulty 2. She has a 14. Do you want to buy an extra dice? She has a focus and sensors operation, so
Yeah, I'll buy one.
okay. So we're rolling 3.
Yep. And then what do you know what the ship says?
It's a 10.
10. Okay. Okay.
She got 3 successes,
Okay. 1 from the ship.
so that's 4 successes. So if you want, you can spend a momentum to get an exact count of what is found.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bank. So it was a difficulty 2.
Yep. She got 3. You got 1, so that's 4.
So we had 4 successes, 2 extra momentum. Spend 1 for an exact count. Bank 1 to make it 5.
Yes. You see 14 dead Bolians floating in space.
Okay, so let me do this. Let me do some math right here. So 14 are dead outside of space. 21 were in the mess hall. There were 13 on the bridge in Mott. So 1. We're missing 1 person. Well, no. And then the 1 guy in engineering.
Yes.
So they're all accounted for.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I guess look at the gold baby.
All right. So you're on the shuttle. You got the baby. You notice that the head, the arms, and the feet are heavy, and the body, the torso is squishy, but it's firm, so it supports the different.
I would have House scan it.
Okay. So we'll do it's a science insight. So we will say it is a 16. We'll say it's a difficulty 2.
I think it's fine. 2 successes.
Okay. So you scan, it's a cotton-like polyester material inside the torso and the arms. The hands and the head are silicone, right? Like a plasticky, but there is a thin layer over both the feet, the hands, and the head, there's a thin layer over them of gold. But the thing you find interesting is you can scan the feet and the hands completely, but the scanner only goes so far into the head. There's something with the composite of the head that stops the scanner from going to the core of the head.
So it sounds like we need to dig deeper.
If you want, you can roll for daring security, difficulty 1.
Yeah, I got to.
You slowly cut into it, meticulously making sure that you don't. And you look inside and you see a very small dispensing unit hooked to the doll's mouth and nose, and there's a small glass vial hooked to the dispensing unit. It's an aerosol. There's also a small chip hooked to the aerosol unit as well.
Interesting.
Yes, and so you can remove a momentum because we're now on to the next act.
I will take a chance to be who I'm meant to be. I won't let fear keep me from trying. It's time for me to make a change, to start living the life I want. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up. 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 I'm never giving up.
Bring anything on board.
And Mott, looking at it, doesn't seem to care about it.
No. He says we'll say he looks at it and he says he's never seen anything like that before. That's not a Bolian thing. That's clearly not something that anything he can think of in Starfleet would be connected to.
Well, I either need to look at the chip or I need to look at the liquid in it.
Do you want to scan the tube?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say medicine, insight. If House is doing it, that's a 15.
That sounds fine.
Yeah, so difficulty 1.
2 successes.
Okay, so when you scan it, you realize that the small amount of liquid in the tube is absorbing your scanning.
Oh. Was the girlfriend the homesick person?
No. But the homesick person shared, because the crewmen have to share quarters.
Yeah.
So the homesick person that you read in the doctor's report is the
Yeah.
roommate of the girlfriend.
So what do I do with this information?
You can get an itch if you spend a momentum.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Let's
Okay.
do that.
So clearly this was made. This wasn't a mistake. This was clearly designed.
Yeah, right.
So something in your back of your head says it would be good to go to the planet and find out who made this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was kind of what I was. Yeah. Okay, let's communicate that to the engineering guys.
Okay.
We'll catch them up to speed.
Yes. So are you departing and going?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
And we can talk to them without minimal interference.
Oh, that's right. Because you can use if you go back on the ship, you can use the button to be like engineering, and you inform them of what happened.
Yeah.
So
even on communicators too. Yeah. So.
All right. So
okay. Can we have one of them, doesn't matter who, tell the captain on the bridge, then put him up to speed?
Oh, yeah. So he tries to call the captain. The captain doesn't pick up the communicator. Like they hail him a couple times, going Captain, Captain, and so he just says what he basically does an intercom and be like, Captain, this is the information that you need to know. So the captain has the information, but he wasn't able to communicate with him.
All right, let's pick those guys up.
Okay. Now, are you having them crawl out to, or if you want, you can just spend one momentum just to get them.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. So just spend a momentum. They jump out using the rope.
Yep.
You pick them up. And then now you're going to go.
I would just like to look at the top of the bridge, like, because we didn't get a response. I just want to see if, like, he's dead or something.
So do con control difficulty 2 to pilot over to the bridge.
2 successes.
All right. So you pilot over, you look down into the top of the bridge.
Yeah.
And you just see him sitting in the chair.
Okay.
He's clearly alive, but
okay.
he's just sitting there.
That's all I was just trying to. Okay, now we can head back to the Drake.
All right. Same thing, con control difficulty 2 to make the Drake.
4 successes.
Very nice. So we will say it takes you 5 minutes to get to the Drake.
I'm gonna bank those 2.
All right. So you're docked on the Drake. The ladder comes down for you to go up into quarantine.
Yeah. Let's deposit Jhon back on the Drake.
Okay. What are you gonna do with Mott? You gonna keep him, or are you gonna?
Yeah, he's just gonna stay with the shuttle.
Okay.
And then we'll have bridge crew. We'll pull away from the asteroid field and like look at the planet.
Okay. So how fast do you want to drive there? Because obviously you're in the same solar system. So it's like, are you doing impulse? Are you warping? Are you like?
Can we safely warp to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's warp. Let's warp to it.
So how much time do you want to spend warping to get to the planet?
As minimal as possible.
Okay. So we'll say 2 minutes. It's going to look a little weird in the report, but it's like, we went warp 3. Just...
That's fine.
Okay. So you're over the planet, and you're going to have Chew do a scan of the planet.
Yep.
Okay. So it's an insight science. So it's 14 with sensors operations. You rolling? You want me to roll?
You roll for Chew.
All right. You want to roll for the ship?
I did. Yep.
Okay. So she got 1 success.
Yeah,
Did you roll?
nothing.
Okay. So you scan, and it looks like a normal M-class planet. Different biomes. You got a nice variety of animal and plant life. There's, forest. There's a couple of small deserts. The ice caps on the top and bottom of the planet.
Do we have the information of where they landed?
Yeah, because you have the report. You don't know the exact spot, but it's the eastern side of the land bridge, and there is a physical landing pad by a city. From the scan, this is most likely the city. The landing pad would be over here.
Yeah. Would you allow for another like localized scan of just that area, like where they generally were, instead of the entire planet?
Are you looking for something specific, or are you just doing another scan?
I guess like maybe gold?
Oh, okay. So yeah, we'll do another scan. 14. Okay. She got 2 successes.
Yep. No, nothing good. Anything.
Nothing. Do you want to bank one, or are you using?
Let me spend it and get like as clear of readings that we can get.
Yeah. So you notice their buildings are made of like concrete, like the normal, but you notice that there are different metals. So there is some gold, there's copper, there's like it's clearly that they use precious metals as part of their normal building routines.
Okay.
You can also tell from the scans that it's been like 100 years since anyone's lived on this planet.
Well, I guess let's take everybody that was on the Dorin down to the planet with Mott.
Okay.
And we'll also like cycle. We'll like get fresh air, like what I mean,
Yeah.
refill our tanks and everything.
Yep. So it's a con control difficulty 1.
3 successes.
Wow. So are you going to bank? Are you going to use that?
I
Or
think I'll bank because there's no reason to spend it.
okay. Let's say it takes you 20 minutes.
Yep.
57. So it takes you a little bit to know exactly. You do find the landing pad by the land bridge. And you guys land and you see, the big, you're on the edge of the city. So you see the big city in front of you. So this is what you see.
Okay.
See what I mean?
That's
So
cool.
it's very nicely maintained, but you can see the plant life has taken over.
Okay. And obviously the lights aren't on.
There is still minimum power in the city.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But it's like there's not enough to like power everything. It's like very, you know.
Interesting. Besides gold and silicon and like cotton material, is there another component to the doll that's not those things?
Oh, that's very unique, you mean?
Yeah.
We'll say that the combination of the three things make it very unique.
Okay.
So you want to scan for that?
Yeah. So let's put house on the virus scan in
Okay.
like the air or the immediate area, and
Yep.
then have
So
somebody else roll for the composition of the doll.
yes. So do you want? Because you didn't bring a science officer, did you? Do you want the ship to do it?
Yes.
Okay. So you'll contact Chew and you'll say, Chew, please save us. So
Yes.
how about I'll roll for Chew and you can roll for
Oh, okay.
okay.
All right, I'm gonna roll for the ship first. Okay, yep, you didn't get anything, so I'm gonna roll for house.
Okay. Difficulty 1.
Okay, so he's got 2 successes.
Okay. So Chew got
Oh,
2 6. So you still got 1 from her. Or no.
okay. So extra momentum from her and an extra momentum from house.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yes.
let's juice it. Let's juice the
Use
scans.
both skins.
Yeah.
So we'll start with houses. House doesn't detect any in the 15 feet radius.
Right.
House doesn't detect anything absorbing your scanners.
Okay. Yeah.
Choose scan, she detects like I said, that specific composition of different materials.
Yeah.
She detects it in different rooms of the city.
Okay.
There's like one there, one there, one there, one there.
Okay, so can we use the security officers like his telling of stuff and kind of piece together like the path that they took?
The path is they went down the path I showed you.
Yep.
They walked down that path through the city center to the other side where they got to the shipping docks.
Okay. So let's keep Milek and Mott in the shuttle.
Okay.
Let's sprinkle out Isaac to be part of the like basically Arhat's gonna go the farthest,
Yep.
but he's never gonna go out of shouting distance of Isaac.
Okay.
So if Arhat continues to walk too far, Isaac will keep the gap.
Okay.
But he's never gonna they're gonna stay at shouting distance.
Mhm.
Okay.
Are you gonna walk? Are you like gonna just beeline it too, or are you gonna like look around the city?
Is one of the rooms that has one of these dolls like close to the landing pad.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
can see it's the first building, like right there in the corner.
Okay, yeah, then let's explore that place.
Okay. So you walk up, you notice the doors open, the front door is open.
Okay.
You would like to proceed inside.
Yes.
So you walk in and you see it like it's bad. Like
Oh.
furniture is tipped over, things are destroyed, there's blood on the wall.
Oh. Fresh blood?
No, it's like it's dry, it's been dried for hundreds of years, but it's like it's
Oh, oh, oh.
that brown stain.
Oh,
And
okay.
because of the splatter pattern, you can clearly tell something terrible happened in this room.
Oh, hey, now here's a question for you. Can she extrapolate the composite of the doll and match it to the general composites of the city and see if these two things coexist?
Oh, okay. We'll say if you want to spend a momentum.
Fair enough.
Looking at it, she clearly tells who built the city is the same people who built the doll.
Okay.
Would you like to continue looking in?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to continue looking.
So there's a hallway or there's stairs. What would you like to do?
I would like to progress towards where the doll is.
Okay, so that's upstairs.
Okay.
So you go upstairs and you see two rooms.
Okay.
Which one do you want to go into?
Towards the one that has the doll.
Okay, so you continue straight and you
Yeah.
open the door, and it's clearly like to a T a little girl's bedroom.
Okay.
And you see the doll sitting in, it's not a crib, it's the one stage past a crib.
Okay, yeah.
You know, whatever.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's sitting in the bed.
It probably doesn't have like dried liquid on its face.
You can tell there's like because you want to walk up and look at the doll.
I don't want to touch it. I just want to look at it.
You want to look at it. You can tell that there was like there's a
Like stain.
yeah. But it's covered in dust, so it has been sitting in this bed for many years.
I'm gonna make a poor decision that
Okay.
Mike probably isn't gonna like.
Yeah.
Can I scan this thing to see if it absorbs my scanner?
Sure. The science insight difficulty 1. Did House come with you?
Oh yeah, House is with me. I forgot House was with me.
So House would have a 16.
Yeah, I got 2 successes.
Are you banking the one extra one, or are you?
No, I want to do this and see if anything in the and like another 15 feet, like it basically is absorbing.
Yeah. So nothing. It doesn't. There's no absorption. We'll even say that because you use the momentum to do this, right?
Yeah.
So we'll say the scanner even goes a little bit further, and it doesn't absorb at all.
Well, the virus isn't in the baby.
Well, would you like to cut it open and see?
Yes. Yeah, so daring security.
Yep. Because he's doing a close combat.
So I have 1 success
Okay.
and a complication.
Okay. So I'm going to bank the complication.
Okay.
I can use that later. So he cuts open the doll.
Yeah.
You look inside, and it is the exact same mechanism, but it is clearly like the tube is completely dry. The computer chip thing is more advanced.
Oh, like it's not like the chip that was in the other one?
It's the same chip, but it's more advanced. There's like an extra thing connected to it.
All right, so can we have like Arhat like break it off and then show it to Clark?
Yeah, if you want, you can just bring the whole head, or you can break off.
I'll bring the baby thing.
Okay. You bring the head out and you show it to Clark, and Clark would have to do and it's a difficulty 2, engineering reason.
Well, you know what? What might be the better option is maybe we left Clark on the ship and I brought Jhon since I have John's numbers.
Okay.
Engineering reason.
Let me make sure. No, sorry, insight. Because that's unfamiliar technology. So engineering insight difficulty 2.
I'm gonna buy a momentum and roll 3 dice.
That's fine.
Or buy a die. I always say buy a momentum, but
yeah.
Well, I have definitely 2 successes. I don't know if one of his focuses applies though. Because I know he changed. He might have changed one of his focus, but he has like cybernetics.
That wouldn't apply.
He has jury rigging.
That wouldn't apply.
And he has technobabble, which I don't think would apply.
No, that wouldn't apply. So
I think he has, but no, I think what he has now, I think he now has machine operations.
Yeah, which wouldn't apply.
Okay.
Yeah. So he studies this, and it's different, but it reminds him very much of a radio receiver. But it's a very simple one, so it's not made to like operate, do a whole bunch of stuff. It's made to receive a signal and then send an input to the computer chip.
All right. Let's is there another house that has one of these things nearby?
Not nearby, it's further in. Do you want to leave and start walking towards, because it's in the direction of where the crew went the first
All right.
week.
Let's have house in Arhat completely like clear that house that we just found the baby in. And if there's nothing, yeah, and if there's nothing in there, then we'll move on to the next baby house.
Okay. So there's nothing in the other room upstairs is another bedroom.
Okay.
It has a large bed, so it's clearly like the parents.
Yeah.
When you go downstairs and walk down the hallway, you find it's a skeleton, but is a corpse, and
Oh,
it has clearly has damage to one side of its head.
okay. Well, House would probably scan it to see, like, to get at least remains of these.
Mhm.
So do I
So
need to roll to, like, notate what this is, like, to
yeah,
add it to Starfleet records?
yep, science insight. So he has a 16 for that
Okay.
difficulty one.
One. Okay. All right. Two successes.
Okay.
So
So you're banking one, or you
yeah,
use
I'll
it?
just bank it because I don't
Okay.
think we.
So it's an adult female, whatever the species is. Their
Right.
bones are a lot more dense, and they seem to grow taller than humans.
Oh.
So this one is 6 foot, but there's
Okay.
nothing indicating that this is an abnormal. So it seems like this species is taller.
Okay.
Okay, and
Yep.
the bones are denser because it has increased iron in them.
So can we extrapolate the skeletal structure is similar to the design of the doll? Like, can we scientifically hypothesize that the appearance of the doll may be what these things look like?
Yes, it's because the doll is a humanoid with like ridges, like very simple ridges that go from the top to, and they do like a triangle.
Yeah.
And this skeleton has that exact same ridges.
Okay. It's probably a cartooned version of them, but we have a general idea of what they look like.
Yes.
Is there any like implement of death next to the skeleton?
No, but is very clearly something blunt hit this woman.
Is the dry blood from near the body?
It's because the first room you entered was the dried blood.
Yeah.
Then you notice dried blood going down the hallway, and then the body.
Anything else in the house?
Nope.
Yeah, let's progress to the next baby
Okay.
house.
So we'll say it's 5 minutes down, and you're almost at the city center, and it's on the left side.
Yeah.
So you want to enter it?
Yeah, same thing. Yep.
Okay. So I have to write down the time. It's now 3:02.
Okay.
So you enter the room, and it's very, very similar. The like furniture is thrown everywhere. There's blood. It's a similar designed house, so it has the hallway into the kitchen, and you have the stairs going upstairs to two rooms.
So signs of violence in the house as well.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, let's follow the signal to the room where the baby is.
Yep. So you go upstairs. Now has a normal bed. It's a
Yeah.
twin size normal bed, but same thing. It's a little girl's room. The
Really?
doll,
Okay.
the doll sitting on the bed.
Yeah, so let's inspect it. Just
Okay.
generally, just like to look at it.
Again, covered in dust, has that same like residue, like ancient residue. Because you can't see liquid, but because of how the dust landed on it, it's like you can tell the
Yeah,
dust
yeah.
here and here is different than the rest of the dust.
Makes sense.
Okay. Is Mike gonna cut open it again?
Yes.
Okay. So he would have to roll.
He has
Huh.
two successes.
Okay. Are you gonna bank one, or are you gonna?
I'm gonna use that one to see, like, do I get like a brain itch of what to do next after inspecting this thing?
So you open it up, and it's the same exact mechanism, dry tubes.
It has that dual thing on it
Yeah, it
that
has
added.
the added radio transceiver. It has that as well. So your brain itch says you need to head towards the shipping where what's his name disappeared.
Okay.
Because there was in the report there was nothing suspicious up until Drat fell in the bush and they couldn't find Blex.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so you're just gonna head straight for the shipping?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Well, is on the way there is the bush in between there and here and the shipping.
So the shipping, it's the edge of the city,
Yeah.
then the shipping. So they stopped at the edge of the city where the bush was.
So I want to get to the bush and like look at that.
Okay.
The sign, like the incident, like I want to look at.
Yeah. So we'll say it takes you 10 minutes to get there. You get to the edge of the last house,
Yeah.
and then you see there's a gap, and then you see this big complex of basically big rectangular buildings,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
And you see, but the last house has a big bush, and the bush is like it's not a ball, it's like this.
Oh, okay. Scan the one that's like crumpled
Okay. So who's scanning?
house. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a 16 difficulty one.
One success.
Okay. So House begins to scan it, and
Mhm.
it reminds him very much of poison sumac, a tree that's found on Earth.
Yep.
So as this is happening, though, I just spent a momentum.
Okay.
Hear something hitting the concrete behind House as he's scanning it, and it's getting closer to House.
Can we put Arhat on investigating that?
Yep. Da-da-da. All right. So Tharhat needs to roll security daring. He has to beat difficulty one.
Let me spend a momentum just to seal it.
Yep. So if he ties, he loses. So you have to get at least two.
Right. Is this considered close combat?
Yeah.
I have 5 successes.
Holy cow. So because Tharhat's constantly watching.
Yep.
So he steps in front of House before this happens. What happened was, as House was leaning forward to do the scan, this ball of hair with curled horns comes running out and heading for House's butt.
Oh.
So he steps in front of House before it happens, and then whatever, do you want him to catch it? Do you want him to attack it? Do you want him to...
Like, how big is it?
About this big.
Can he just kind of grab onto it, like to stop it from...
Yep. So...
I don't want to necessarily, like, bring it up into his, like, bosom, but basically, like, keep it stationary.
Yep. So, do you want to use any of the momentum that you... Because you banking it?
Yeah, let me, so it was difficulty 1.
Well, because the first one is a tie.
Yeah.
And then you beat it with the second one. Yeah, so you got 3. Because the second one beats it. So
that's what I was thinking.
3 extra.
Okay. So let me bank 2 and spend 1 to basically be its friend for a minute.
Okay. So he grabs it, and then as soon as he lets out a... And he begins to try to push. He like doesn't forcefully, but he tries to back up as he's holding on to it. And then he just stops and stands there.
Okay, let's have House scan it.
Okay, so it's a so it's a 16 difficulty 1.
2 successes.
Okay, so would you like to use the one to get like a really nice scan?
Yeah.
Okay, so this reminds him very much of goats and sheep, and this is very much a like domesticated herd animal with horns.
Okay. It doesn't seem to be freaking out by being scanned or anything, right?
Nope. It wants to go back into the bushes where it came from, but it's not.
Okay. I think we just let it go and just continue to the docks.
So you let it go. As you turn around, you see it start to line up to go for somebody's butt again. Would you like to walk backwards so it won't do that?
Yes.
Okay. So you turn around, you start walking backwards, and then it just kind of wanders and then goes back into the bush.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So then we'll just progress to the shipping yards there.
Okay. So you see every so often there's a red door, and then there's this big metal door, like like larger than what you'd think a 2-stall garage door is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And above every one of the metal doors, there's four symbols. You can't tell because you can't read their language. So from the 3 that you can see, the 3 first symbols are the exact same. The last symbol is different.
Well, did the ship get any of the babies in this area?
You didn't get exact, so it's not a full baby. But you did detect like parts towards the other side of the shipping area. Not too far, but probably like 3 or 4 doors down from where you currently are.
Can we have basically say that like Isaac scans the radio component and then data transfers that to the Drake, and then the Drake scans for data component?
You can if you want.
Yeah.
So we'll say Science Insight difficulty 2.
Okay, you'll roll for her, I'll roll.
Yep. Are you buying any extra dice, or is she doing just
roll, yeah, so it should be okay.
Okay.
Not worried.
Wow, she got 3 successes.
And then 1 from the ship, so 4.
Okay. So are you using any to get better scanners? Or you put
Yeah.
Okay. It is in the corner building. It's in the corner.
Okay.
So you're on the first corner, the opposite corner from where you're standing is where both are.
Okay. Let's progress to there.
Okay. So you make it there and you see it's the same thing, but the thing is the corner of the building collapsed. So the red door was open.
Yeah.
Okay. You see that it's collapsed there. You see the door, and then you see skeleton legs on the other side of the corner.
Oh. Okay. So is that collapse is like blocking the door?
Yes.
So we have to find another way in, or there's no other way in?
The only other way in is the big metal door with the 4 symbols above it.
Okay, let's go to that door. Is there a way to open it, or we don't?
Not that you can see.
I guess let's keep walking around the corner then.
Okay. So you walk around the corner. Immediately in front of you, you see a skeleton with it's tattered, but it's clearly like a white coat.
Oh.
There is a metal canister, like those popcorn canisters.
Okay, yeah.
It's open though. So the outside of it is tarnished and rusted and everything. The inside still looks good, but it's opened. And you see like a small shack little ways down on the left.
Are there like footprints or hand smudges or disturbance of the dust on this canister?
Yes. There's like clearly the top of it has been like you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do know what you're saying. So he took it from here. Something. Okay. All right, well, let's walk over to the shack since you brought it up. Let's go look at that.
So it has 2 windows on the other side, on each side.
Yeah.
The doors is partly open.
Yeah.
Do you like to
I'd like to. Let's look into the window.
Okay, so you look in the window, you see 10 red buttons, and you see 4 discs. And you can tell that the discs are made to turn separately.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of know.
And you see symbols on the discs that are the same language as the
images.
of the door.
So where the skeleton is, let's open that bay door.
So you want to memorize the 4 symbols above, and then walk over and push the buttons that represent the.
Basically, like if there's a symbol above the door and that somehow correlates to here, I want to input that to see if that opens that door.
Okay, so so you hit the 4 symbols in the order above the door, and then you hear this loud, like mechanical. But because you guys are on this side, you don't see what's happened. You hear the noise.
Hear it. Can Clark see it? Because he didn't come all the way here, but he
didn't come. Okay, so you left him over there.
He didn't come with us. Remember, he's staying like within shouting distance. So
okay. Yeah. So when you put in the code, the door that you're trying to open just like a garage door just
opens.
Yep.
Does he see anything preliminary from like just from where he's standing without walking towards it?
All he sees inside is like old tire tracks and like pieces of wood, and but he doesn't see really anything inside.
Okay. So the 2 of us will walk over there now.
Do you want to go in?
Do we feel like the door is going to close on us?
No.
Okay.
So you walk in and you see stairs going up to like a room.
Yep.
And then you see a stairs on the other, like straight ahead, that go down.
Let's go up to the room.
All right. So you go up. It's a wood door with glass with the crisscross.
Yeah.
And it's normal door handle. So
yep. Let's try it.
You open it up.
Yep.
And there is a desk with they look very strange, but they remind you of filing cabinets.
Okay, yeah. Let's do some good old paperwork searching.
Okay, so you start opening them up, and you can't really, because you can't read the language,
No.
but you see like just like words, and then you see a dash, and then you're kind of guessing that those are numbers on the outside, because there was a 10 buttons inside. So you see the symbols that you saw on the buttons on the right side, and then you see words on the left side.
Okay, so this is what I'd like. We work over this office space, and then either if we have to roll, that's fine. But basically, gauge what's the most important looking material, like paperwork stuff, and bring it outside the Jhon and see if Jhon can like sort of do something with this because he is like the translator officer of the ship.
So they're all basically the same.
Okay,
So if you just want to bring out like a stack of them,
sure, yeah.
okay. So it would be
Because I forgot that's who was standing outside, not Clark. So
yes, difficulty 2, engineering insight.
all right, let me spend a momentum, buy a dice, roll
Okay.
3, 1 success, 2 success. That's it, 2 successes.
So these are he can't, because you don't have enough,
Right,
but he can
right.
clearly tell these are shipping manifests.
Okay.
Like these are like this place bought this much of something, this place bought this much of something, this place bought this much, and then other paperwork that you brought him is somebody else bought like materials. There's one filing cabinet that's full of materials being bought. Another filing cabinet is like a product being bought.
Is the astronaut marking that was on the Dorin doll on any of the dolls in the city?
Yes, they all have that exact same.
Is that symbol on the paperwork?
Yes.
Like, is that on the receiving side
Yeah.
of things, like you said? Like
That's
somebody's
no, that's on the sending out side of things. That's
so
the product being sent out side of things.
and not product being sent in.
Correct.
Okay. Let's go downstairs.
Okay. So you go downstairs, you see like it's got like two it's a screen with two pads of keys.
Mm-hmm.
So this you would best guess this is a computer.
Okay.
You see a picture on the wall. You
Okay.
see a couple of filing cabinets, and then you see like a bin or a trash can that has like baby doll parts in it.
Okay.
And then you see on top of one of the filing cabinets is a small box with the receivers. So then there's also there's a door straight ahead and there's a door on the left. Both doors are ajar. Like they're not fully open, but they're like partially.
Yeah.
And the one that's straight ahead is like only held on by like the top door hinge.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So is the picture people? Like, can we tell it's
Yeah,
like?
I can show you the picture if you want.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Oh, okay.
If you look right here, this is
Yeah.
what I was talking about, that slight V.
Oh,
Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah. So they're blue.
Yep.
And they have like stone-like horn kind of thingies. Like, what is that?
This is a hat.
Oh, a hat.
This is a hat and this is clothing. This is you don't know what it is, but you can clearly tell that this is like a significant person in their
Oh, so they're this ornate in the picture.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Like even the background this is the background. This is like clearly someone put in effort to make it look like this.
Okay, so this is probably some sort of leader or something. So baby parts are in
Like in a garbage
garbage bin.
Yeah.
This is like a computer station, and what was that about the radio things?
There's a small box of them on the filing cabinet. There's also a door on the left, and there's a door straight ahead.
Are there any radio things missing from the box?
You can't tell because they're not individually.
Oh, it's not open. Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's just like a bunch of them.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, let's open the left door.
The left door. So you open it, and there's machines in there. There's like sewing machine kind of things. There's like a blacksmith type of machine, and you see a skeleton in the far left corner.
Now let's look at the blacksmith machine first.
Okay. So you look at it, and there's a partially made baby hand in the machine. It's very
Yeah.
clearly they use this machine to put the gold on the hand or on the
Okay.
parts.
Okay. Now let's go look at the skeleton.
Okay. It's similar to the skeleton you saw outside. It's old, it's got a tattered white jacket, and it's clearly like there is a lot of damage to the skull.
Okay. Is there mess all over the wall or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Like you can clearly tell something happened right here, and it
It
like
was bad.
no, yeah.
Like, does
Uh,
he have a pocket or anything or
he has a pocket on his front.
anything in that?
Yes.
I would like to look at it.
Okay. So you take it out, and it's a T. So it's like a big handle with like a computer chip coming down the bottom.
Well, let's take that, obviously.
Okay.
And nothing else in the room.
No,
I think we'll,
just different machines made to make things.
okay, then we'll progress to the other door ajar.
So you open it, and it's a bathroom. There's a sink. There's like a weird toilet, and then you
Okay.
see another skeleton, like laying on top of a metal box.
Okay, let's go over to the metal box.
Okay. So you look at it. It's a contraption. You don't know what it is. It's a contraption of some sort, and the skeleton is laying on it.
Is the skeleton disfigured as much as the other one?
Yes, it's the same awful,
Wonderful.
terrible mess.
Wonderful.
But he died.
Wonderful.
He died laying on top of this thing.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. Does it look like the box opens with the thing in my hand, the T-shaped thing? I'm going to poke the metal container.
Yeah, it does nothing.
I'm going to slightly, ever so slightly, just kind of like kick it, but not like enough to dent it. Just kind of like a more like a more heavier jostle.
It still does nothing.
Okay, I'll drag it out from underneath the skeleton.
Okay, so it is a hastily made some type of device,
Hmm.
but you can tell by like the soldering and like the welding that like they weren't doing it to make it pretty. They were slapping something together.
No idea what it is though.
No idea what it is.
Is it heavy? Can we bring it up to Jhon?
Sure. I mean it's going to take two hands. Like it's hefty.
That's fine.
Okay.
I would like to bring it up to Jhon outside.
Okay. So it is going, if he wants to scan it,
He wants to look at it.
so it's an engineering insight difficulty 3.
At 2 successes.
Okay. So you don't know what it does, but I will tell you this. You know those motorcycle handles?
Yes.
It has one of those attached to this thing. It has some type of gauge, like a scanner of some kind.
Okay.
It's like taped to it or glued to it. It's not like part of the device. They like slapped it on there.
Okay.
And then there's another port that's supposed to have something, but it doesn't have it.
And the T thing doesn't go in it.
No, there's nowhere to put the T thing.
Do we feel like the T thing goes inside the computer thing outside of the 2 doors?
It might. You might want to go check that.
All right, I'll keep him. He'll keep looking at this box thing,
Okay.
and we'll go back down and look at the computer.
Okay. So you look at the computer and you notice behind the keyboard there is a small port that's about the size of the computer chip.
Mm-mm. I don't want to do it. I don't want to. I don't want to put the T thing in there. I really don't want to. I really, really don't want to. Okay, what do I got to spend so that the Drake can have transporter lock on the 3 of us?
Let's say 2.
Okay,
So are you putting it in?
I'm putting it in.
All right. So the screen turns on and you see a whole bunch of words. So this appears like you don't know for sure, but this
Right.
appears to be 5 Word documents.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And you want me to click on each of them? One says execute. One says, are you sure you want to execute? The other one says, if you execute, this is really bad. The last one says executing, and the fifth one says you shouldn't have executed. I get it. So, is there any way of telling date of like order of operation? Like, is there a way to tell?
Oh, last opened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's in the order that you see it. The first one was made, then the second one was made, then the third, then the fourth, and the fifth.
All right, let's open the first one.
All right. So you see like a big paragraph of text.
Perfect.
Would you like Jhon to start working on translating?
Oh, I would love for Jhon to start working on translating it.
We said engineering insight.
Sounds good to me.
Difficulty 2.
So it's by a die. All right, he has a focus in technobabble.
Yeah, we'll give it. Do you need it to succeed?
No.
No, you just want to.
Yeah, because I have 5 successes.
You have 5.
If you give me technobabble.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bank 1.
Yeah.
And then I'll spend 2 of them so that Jhon feels so good about his translation. He's
Okay.
very confident about what he's translated.
Okay. So we'll say that you've translated the language enough to understand it.
Yeah.
All right. So the 5 text documents are called Mission, Chosen Parts, Ad Campaign, Problem with First Doll Set, and then Outbreak.
Let's just go. Let's just do it. I know I want to just click on 4 and 5, but let's just read
Okay.
it.
So when you bring up the first one, it says, our mission is almost complete. After 20 years, we finally have the vessel which will topple the Cupramites and show that the builder is truly on the side of the Pharamites, that the builder started his work building here on this continent. The council refused to see the wisdom, saying that our work went too far, but Grand Mechanist Iaspis saw the wisdom and approved the mission. He even said he will personally see to it that our ad will only be played on Cupramites' devices. Then we will use the month of peace to trade with them and send the dolls to their continent.
The word of Flabus, whatever they were named. Yeah, is that what they're saying?
Yep.
All right, let's open 2.
The chosen parts. So you see a list of 28 pathogens with different symptoms. For each pathogen has different symptoms, and it's highlighted. So you have words, and then they highlighted specific parts of the pathogen.
Okay.
So it says the symptoms that are highlighted, including rage, clouded thinking, sensitivity to scanning, and blockage of scanning. There is a note that those infected will no longer feel pain or thirst or hunger, so they will die of dehydration within a few days of being infected.
And that's why you're keeping track of time.
Yes.
Okay, let's open 3.
It says ad campaign. You see a picture of the doll, and
Okay.
over the doll, it's written in the like a comic script text.
Yeah.
It says, Golden Child, a doll so precious, it is made of pure gold.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. So let me open 4.
The next one. So it says, problem with the first dolls. A problem has been found with the first batch of dolls. The release mechanism activates when the doll is turned around quickly or upside down. Vicus is keeping one of the dolls with a vial in it. He believes it might come in handy, but we have decided to put in receivers that will trigger when we activate by satellite, so all of them will go off together.
So the Pharamite?
Ferumites. Pharamites.
So, but they have it in their cities. They have the doll in their city.
Yep. You have one more text document if you'd like to read it.
Let's do it.
Okay. It's called Outbreak.
Yep.
The unthinkable has happened. Somehow dolls were sold here as well as in Caperite. So when we activated the dolls by satellite, both continents were infected and were reporting violent behavior. We only have a few days to come up with a way to expose Ferrum with neutron radiation. We know that once the skin turns red and the queasiness starts, this will cause the bonds that bind the virus's DNA to break apart and the virus will quickly die. Unfortunately, my colleagues, especially Vicus, do not see any point in continuing trying to save us. So they have left me to finish the machine on my own.
So that's what the box is.
That's your best guess.
So talking to Jhon, does he know what he can add to it to make it an effective thing?
Since he has a better understanding of it, he can attempt another insight engineering difficulty 2, though.
Let me buy a dice.
Okay.
Okay, 2 successes.
Okay. So looking upon it again, he can tell that this is made to release neutron radiation.
Oh,
There's a few issues with it.
okay.
First of all, because of how hastily it was made, it can only be used once.
Okay.
Second of all, the motorcycle handle thing I was telling you about,
Yeah.
that's the activation part.
Okay.
So clearly they glued a Geiger counter to the top of it and were planning on just turning until the Geiger counter got to a certain point.
Okay.
The thing that is missing is they didn't hook up any type of power supply.
Okay, sure. That's not difficult. I think our idea would be to take the machine, the documents, the T thing,
Mm-hmm.
and go to the shuttle,
Mm-hmm.
and then go to the Drake, and then have the Drake go back to the asteroid field. Attach the attach a power source that we can just easily get on the Drake to this thing, and then somehow use this machine on the infected crew.
Okay.
Let's make the motorcycle handle more precise so that we can specifically make it 100 rems.
Yep. But the thing is, someone will have to hold it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because that's what I'm saying. It's a motorcycle helmet where you turn it, and then when you let go, it flips back. So clearly, somebody made it to go up till the Geiger counter said the correct amount, and then hold it while the city was being irradiated, or the continent, basically, as much of the continent as they could reach.
Oh, it's big enough to do a continent.
Well, I mean, you don't know how much, but neutron radiation goes through everything. They basically made a device to go as far as possible, and then it'll go through everything. So it will, whatever the max range is, it will get to that max range.
No, but the EV suits should block it, right? I mean,
it will protect you a lot, but you're still like standing in front of basically a nuclear bomb, holding it. You can of course do radiation treatment, pre-radiation treatment to help and et cetera, et cetera. But if you don't change anything with it, someone's going to have to stand on the ship holding the release mechanism.
Okay, can we do like a medium range connection to it?
I mean, changing it would be a difficulty 4. Because it's an advanced piece of technology.
I agree.
It's hastily made.
Let's just do it. I'm going to spend a momentum and get 3 dice. And I'll have Clark assist Jhon because we're back on the Drake.
So it's control. It's engineering control difficulty 4 if you're going to make any type of changes to it.
All right, well, I'm just going to roll my 3 dice and be assisted by Clark. Engineering insight. I think he's like 1 less, so I think he has like a 15.
Okay, I'll roll from it.
Okay.
Nope, you got a 16.
Excellent. Okay. Emergency response.
Yeah, because you're doing this specifically to fix the ship or fix the crew.
So if you're allowing emergency response, I have 4 successes.
Okay, so how would you like to adjust this mechanism?
Yeah, I would like it. I think basically what I would like is somebody can stay on the shuttle on deck 4.
Okay.
And they can send a signal to this thing that will like irradiate that deck.
Okay, so you want to send a radio transceiver.
Whatever, yeah, like whatever is the
so
right terminology.
You stick the power supply and the radio transceiver on it.
So I think just what we'll do is just literally go like six to like three and just do it on each deck.
No, like I said,
Oh, it'll just
the ship isn't larger than the city.
oh, okay,
So
okay.
this is going through the whole ship.
So before we dock, let's go up to the bridge thing and look at the captain
Yep.
and flash lights at him.
So you'd have to do con control difficulty 2 to make it to the top of the bridge first.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay, so you make it to the top, you flash lights, he doesn't react.
I flash a lot. I flash him a lot at him.
He doesn't react.
He doesn't care. Okay. All right, let's dock.
All right. So it'd be con control difficulty 2.
All right, 2 successes.
All right. So you successfully dock. You're gonna open the door?
Yeah.
All right. So you open the door and you hear shuffling around the corner.
Let's have me like stealth, I guess.
All right. So how far is he stealthing?
Just outside of where the airlock is.
So you just want to see like down the whole corridor?
Yeah.
Right. So it'd be difficulty 1 con control.
2 successes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bank that. Definitely banking that.
So you come out and you see down one, you see two, because this is again a circle. So you see two at the other end of this hallway shuffling.
Yeah.
And you see the door, over here, you see sick bay that's been opened, and you see the door right there next to it where you found Mott that's been forced open, and you hear shuffling down that corridor too.
This is also where the security guard is. He's
in quarantine, which is 10 feet down
yeah
the hallway that you can't hear, that you can't see.
All right, let's just put this thing. Let's just put this thing a couple feet, like several feet away from the hatch here, like the block.
Yep.
And go back onto the shuttle.
So it'd be con control difficulty 1.
2 successes.
All right.
I'm also going to bank that.
Okay. So you go back to the shuttle, and you make it. You shut the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut the door.
Okay. So I'm going to spend 2 momenta, so that way when you shut the door, the sound of it hitting causes the infected to run towards the door. And you hear pounding on the other side of the door.
Perfect. All right, can we activate the...
Yep. It's just like you just hit the button.
Let's do it.
All right. So you hit the button. Because you have a lot of protection, but you do feel a little bit of queasiness.
Sure, yeah.
And you see, because I'm guessing you'd be holding the scanner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see like Geiger counter go, but it is the 100 that you were looking for.
Okay. Let's have it beyond the recommended house amount of time.
Yeah. So you wait the same amount of time that House did, and all of a sudden you see that the Geiger counter turns up, but you don't hear any more pounding on the door.
All right. Can we? I might regret this, but can we use the absorption scan?
Yeah. So that's Science Insight difficulty 1.
And Science Insight. What were we saying that was House?
Oh, that was 16.
Okay.
Or 15, because it would be a med. I just realized it's a med scan, so it'd be 15.
15?
Yeah.
So 2 successes.
All right. You're gonna bank one? Or are you gonna use it?
I'm gonna use it to see how good things look out there.
Yeah. So it's such a good scan that even a little bit farther than the 15 feet, you don't detect any type of absorption.
All right, let's open and check things out.
Okay. You open and you see them red skin laying down just like the other crewman was.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you want to go into epilogue now?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
So for one last thing.
Okay.
Before we do it, So House has to do emergency medicine.
Okay. Okay.
So how many things do you have?
I have 3.
You have 3 momentum. So it is going to be a difficulty, we'll say difficulty 4. You can use
Okay.
only momentum. You can
Okay.
also use 2 crewmen to help you
Okay.
or assist.
Yep.
It's going to be medicine and diagnosed medicine insight. So if House is the lead, that is 11, that's a 15. Difficulty 4. You can use anyone on the ship.
All right, so 13 for the 2 guys because Lieutenant Mescal, his nurse, has a 13.
Yep,
So might as well just say another nurse has.
13. Okay.
Yeah, might as well.
Are you gonna roll it all or?
You can roll the 2 13s. I'm gonna roll 4 die for House, which you said is a 15.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, seriously? And one of its focus is activated.
Okay. Did you succeed in any of those rolls?
I got
Either one of them?
I got 2 14s.
Yeah, he only has 3 successes.
Hold on, let me check because we didn't name the second nurse.
I don't think we have a second nurse.
Oh, but we have Dara Bradeen,
Yeah.
who is second shift science lab.
Okay.
This is the chemist.
Okay.
He has a 14.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, you're saying that's the second guy?
yeah. If you use him as the second, because you never named a second guy.
No, I didn't. Sure,
So
sure.
he has a 10 in insight and 4 in medicine.
Okay.
So that would give
4
1.
successes.
Yep.
Okay.
If you're okay with doing that.
That's yeah, if you're fine with it, I'm fine with it.
All right. So so basically what happened is you guys get on board,
Yeah.
find all of the infected crew laying Redskin unconscious.
Yeah.
They're fairly easy to fix, right?
Yep.
You finally get into, because the captain doesn't open the door even when so you have to cut your
Like
way
tell
in.
him the good news kind of
Yeah,
thing.
you have to cut your way in.
Okay.
And you find all the people who are on the bridge are in critical, like almost dead condition. That's what
Okay.
the difficulty 4 was, because you have to do emergency medicine on
On the bridge crew, on the senior
on
staff.
everybody on the bridge. So the synopsis of this episode is: upon you guys heal all of the sick, most of the crew just needed radiation repair or radiation cure. The crew on the bridge were really close to death. They had, uh, cracked skulls and internal bleeding and things like that. Dr. House is able to save them all. It was a very close call, but saved them all. Upon searching certain quarters, you find that there is a letter that the first officer was trying to write, basically detailing how the captain was ignoring protocols and allowing people to break, not major rules, but break a lot of rules, because he was from the cruise ship. He was a captain from the cruise ship, so he felt morale was the most important thing. So he was allowing people to do basically what they wanted.
Yeah.
The crew is able to repair the ship enough that it's livable. Like the engineering, you still can't get into without a chute, and
Yeah.
science lab is still inaccessible. But like the quarters and the mess hall and things and the bridge, they can get onto. You guys stick around until the other Bolian ship comes to tow them back. That's funny because I did the Latin names.
Yeah.
So the one is copper in Latin, the other one is iron in Latin.
Iron, yeah. I picked up it was iron. I didn't know it was
So
copper.
they were fighting over which continent was originally lived upon. It became a religion, and then the iron side decided to make the dolls to kill off the copper side, but it was sold on both continents, and it killed them off.
Makes sense.
And it was decided that the ship would keep the shuttle in case they needed it on the way back.
Yeah.
So they're going to be towed back to Bolian. The Bolians are very appreciative about how many people were able to be saved on the ship. So obviously this eased some of the tension between the Bolians and the Starfleet.
Great. Great. So I guess as the final question would be, what made you name it Crossing the Line?
I realized so many people had crossed the line. The people on the planet crossed the line because even the council said don't do it. The captain was crossing the line. The ensign crossed the line to bring the doll on the ship. Like that's
Makes
why.
sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, very good. Well, that concludes episode 2. We'll pick up in episode 3, and that is entitled The Solkar Letters.
Ooh,
So that's where we will pick it up next time.
very nice.
See you then.
Bye.